right now. Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thanks, Kim, and thank you for tuning in to the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Rich Walsh, give me a call tonight, 412-575-2600 is the number. You can always tweet me at Richie Walsh if I haven't blocked you for saying something mean. But I've unblocked a lot of people, so maybe you can tweet me. But I'll check Twitter. Hopefully there's some good tweets, good phone calls tonight. And we'll be talking about the Buccos, who are in action right now. 412-575-2600. The Buccos are coming off a big win last night in San Diego, starting out the West Coast swing in a good way, winning the first game in San Diego, a team that they should beat right now. This is a team that is right around the Pirates. They've lost 11 of 14 games. So you would think that the Pirates can take advantage of that if the Pirates are a good team. I mean, they've proven that they can be a good team, and they've proven they can be a really bad team at times. And for a stretch there, for an entire month, they were the worst team in the majors. So, you know, they won 3 out of 4. They're getting hot. The bats are going. Gregory Polanco is playing like the best player in the majors right now. He's batting .470 and some change in the last 11 games. 523 on base percentage. I think in June he leads all Pirates players with a .922 OPS. And if you're looking back maybe the last 7 games, last week or so, give or take a game, I think his OPS is close to 1,500. And this guy is hitting the ball. He's 2 for 4 last night. I haven't seen what he's done so far yet today. The game is going on right now. It's a late start out there in San Diego, and it's a scoreless tie right now on the bottom of the second. So, you know, you would think that if this team really wants to compete and can compete, you have to take these 3 games. That would be a solid road trip right there. Taking 3, getting close to 500. Because right now they're a few games back, 39 and 42, 3 games back. So if you could take those games, get to 41 and 42, 1 game under 500, and you would hope to win 1 out of 3 in LA. Maybe you could steal an extra one, but you know, 1 out of 3 would be good. You come back home 4 and 2 for that West Coast swing. That's pretty good. You got the Phillies. Now you can maybe make a move again and get above 500. Get over that hurdle and, you know, try to compete. You're 4.5 games out of a wild card spot right now, but that's not really telling because you're chasing 7 teams for 2 spots. There's only 4 teams behind you. So, you know, the Pirates aren't in a good place right now. And even a couple weeks ago when they were right around 500, they weren't in a good spot just because you're so many teams right around there. And I don't know what they're going to do in a month. The trade deadline is just about a month away, exactly a month away. And, you know, if I'm in the Pirates management, front office, or a scout, or whoever has some say, I would want to trade as much as you can and just try to get some prospects that are ready to go. Excuse me, that are ready to go next year, because I think that's what you need. You know, it would be nice to keep the Harrisons. Jordy Mercer you can't afford. You know, I think, and what I'd really like to hear from you guys tonight is who's untouchable. For me, and you might call me crazy, but my untouchables are Austin Meadows, Jameson Taillon, Josh Bell, and this is where you're going to call me ridiculous. I would not trade Gregory Polanco. I think he has some upside, and I don't like his streakiness, but the way he's playing right now, he's a left-handed bat. You know, every at-bat he has a chance to hit it out of the park at PNC Park. This is the guy I want to take a chance on. I don't want to give him up. Now, I would try to trade Starling Marte and get as much as you can for this guy, because I think you could get, you know, 2 high-level prospects that could potentially start for you next year, maybe some bullpen help. You could get a lot in return for a guy like Starling Marte. And he's not even necessarily the face of this franchise right now. I mean, I think a guy like Josh Bell or Austin Meadows, if he continues to play, these are guys I think that you can build franchises around, kind of like Andrew McCutchen. I still think there's a lot of fans and a lot of people that are upset with McCutchen over what happened last year, because who knows, if he plays 80 games, they could compete for a wild card spot, maybe. I mean, a lot of things didn't go their way last year. They had a lot of issues, but, you know, Marte didn't help. And I think that you're going to have to trade an outfielder. I think you have to trade an outfielder. And who is it going to be? Corey Dickerson, Starling Marte? Because you're not going to trade Austin Meadows. And I don't even know if you could get much for Gregory Polanco right now. So give me some ideas, what you think. 412-575-2600 is the number. You can always reach me on Twitter, @Rich Walsh. Back in a couple minutes.
The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, putting new roofs on Pittsburgh homes for over 25 years. Call Ireland Contracting at 1-800-NEW-ROOF.